All right, guys, Chris Rowe here. I always do short video segments, but today I'm going to do something. It's probably going to be, I don't know how long it's going to take, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So please watch it all or know that before you start watching this. It's going to be longer than normal. Bryson Dechambeau was here at the end of our season last year. I was a massive fan of Bryson before he even came, and he was very kind, allowed me to go out on the range, really pick his brain, talk to him, and he is way up here in intelligence as far as the way he thinks about golf swings. So I took everything he said and I put it into how I would teach somebody. So a couple of things, and this isn't to disrespect, you know, I don't have his exact theories. I spent 30 minutes with him and talked to him about it, but this is what I took out of it. And I have played the best golf as far as ball striking I've ever had in my life over the last 3 or 4 months. So number one, Bryson has bigger grips. That's preference. Now for my driver and 3-wood and hybrid, I got a little bit larger grips, and it gets the hand from twisting as much, and that's why he does it. But his grips are 110 grams, and they're about this big, almost the size of a putter grip, like a big putter grip. So he uses that, and he also has the same length irons. Once again, I think that's a preference thing, because I've been doing this without the big grips, you know, the size he has, and I've also been doing it with just a standard set. So this will work for anybody who watches this. So number one thing, he has a weak grip. So we've all been taught at least to see 2 knuckles or our logo on our grip. All right, he has a very weak grip. So most time when you have a weak grip, there's very little rotation. So that's why he does that, because tour players are coming into the golf ball with their knuckles down. If I have a strong grip or just an average or neutral grip, I'm having to manipulate to get that club to square up. So with a very weak grip, he's basically working the left hand down, and there's very little hand rotation. He's just using body. So he's considered to be a one-plane golfer. He swings on one plane all the way through, versus maybe a Jim Furyk who's here and coming this way, or a Fred Couples, or different people that change the routing of the club. So I think Bryson has got it figured out probably better than anybody had since Ben Hogan, Trevino, and some of the best ball strikers of their time, because we have science to back up everything he's saying. So I do think Ben Hogan was doing the same stuff with his left hand. I do think Trevino was doing a lot of those things. But because we have TrackMan and Flight Scope, and we can actually know what the golf ball's doing now, this is helping us understand it a lot better. So the key to this is the left hand. But the second part, he took off his jacket. He goes, you need to see this. You notice if I put my left hand here, my arm works this way, where if I turn my hand this way, the elbow comes out. So his big thing was, you have to turn your elbow out, your left elbow if you're a right-handed golfer. So when you see this, from my shoulder all the way down to the club head creates one line. So most of the time we set up in this position and there's a little bit of break. If we press it out like this, he's in this position but with a very weak grip and his elbow out. That allows you to drive the left arm and no manipulation, no flip. So this is why this is genius. The compression of the golf ball is massively better when you do this, and it's the simplest thing I've ever run into. So when you set up on your golf shot, I want you to have a weak grip, get your elbow out, and then you create, right now I don't have a straight line, but now I've created one singular line. If this was on video in my teaching studio, I could draw a line all the way down to the club head. So that's what we're trying to do. So if you come over here, as we set up to a shot, we've got a weak position. Then I'm going to kick my left elbow out and create one line. Now from this point, all I've got to do is swing as hard as I want. I don't have to work from the inside or try to figure out how to come back to square. It's basically just get to the same position you were. So when we teach chipping, if I had a wedge here, we would want to get in a situation or a position where we're basically the way we'd want to impact it. So I'd have my hands forward, and then you want to repeat that position. Well, with the way Bryson's doing it, he's got the weak left grip. He's basically created impact. So let's see how this works. Let's set up to it. Weak left hand, all right? We're gonna kick that elbow out. We're gonna create one line. I can't hit it any better than that. So try this. Now just for fun, if you want to come see me, instead of the Dechambeau, we're going to call this the Dechambeau. Come see me, we'll get you hitting it better.